Alrighty, welcome back to the Oceania qualifier for IEM Chengdu 2024. Wild day, wild scenes we're seeing at the moment. Bad news Kangaroos, they won map 1 here on our stream, and Rooster were upset, I would say, by Mindfreak in map 1 over on the B stream. So, a couple of upsets for map 1. Now we get to find out, though, whether or not it will be an upset for the series as a whole. Bad news Kangaroos moving on to their map pick of Mirage, and Dexter is just sending them packing. 2 quick taps for the USP and another one to boot as well. Been helped out by Inns, and that is probably not the way that Bad news Kangaroos would have liked to have seen the map starting.
Like, you just go next round at that point. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. You would you're B-hopping out of A main. You know, you thought you would make it to Teddy. And Dexter's just clicked on 4 people. Sometimes it just happens like that. You just lose a pistol like that. Interestingly, these two teams haven't played Mirage against each other since Go in an official. So, bit of a different one. And I remember one of the big upsets to go over to Blast, I believe it was on this map between Bad News Kangaroos, Core, and Grayhound. Lico, straight out 8, and they've sent a message back to Dexter this time, who has once again played the same position, but apparently Glock's too OP in this round. A lot of things being handed out.
Inns even copped one there as well, but he'll be saved by Vexite. Alright. Solid stuff in the end for Grayhound, but a bit of damage done by Bad News Kangaroos. Unfortunately, didn't get the bomb plant down.
But a couple of guns taken away from the CT side, and the FAMAS couldn't be saved over, so you're pretty happy with that if you are the T side, who have got themselves a pretty decent buy here. Early ult timing for Alistair. Doesn't have any kind of crazy spawn to do anything in particular. A little bit of grenade juggling here for Vexite to send a flash to the backside of market. Ooh, good opportunity there for Alistair to hit a flick and give a man advantage, and quick pacing straight up con here from Bad News Kangaroos. ADDICT already finds himself in pole position to start to split the map. Vexite finds PZ from Cat though, and the T's unfortunately have lost themselves a man advantage.
Ooh. Little pop flash into connector there, I think tossed by Alistair, was trying to set Inns up to grab ADDICT, who made a bit of noise, but ends up dodging the flash quite nicely, and so Grayhound ended up giving up that advantage and allowing it to go back to 4-on-4.
Push from Dexter though in the mid-round. Grayhound staying active. They've taken A space, so they're quite happy to leave that part of the map open and just let Dexter work his magic over there. Alistair trying to keep an eye on Murder Hole. And a 2-man push into apps here. Once again, caught in transition though are Grayhound, and Bad News Kangaroos starting to make some moves onto this big site now.
Well, Brace looking for those entries, but not really finding anyone to shoot at. Missing the timings by a half second here and there, and Hats as well will lose his life to Vexite, who's threat through the smoke into the van position. It's on to Brace solo, 1-on-3. He does have time to potentially isolate some 1-on-1s, though. It's been spotted out now by Vexite, who'll just back up and play for the 2v1, which makes it easy for Dexter to get the final kill in the round, and Grayhound up 3-0. Out of the gate strong on Mirage.
No bomb plant yet again here, so gonna be a single save for Bad News Kangaroos. We can put together some 50s. That's what we're used to seeing from Grayhound. Whenever they get upset, they usually come back to win the next map pretty quickly. Send a bit of a message to send some individual multi-frag. Some of the boys. Bit of a miss molly there from Inns. Oh, could be intentional as he starts to walk his way into ramp here.
A lot of nades. Not really connecting too much onto Liaz, though. Wonder how Hats is going to go with his timing here, pushing out from Palace.
Oh, Vexite. Very heads-up play, hearing the footsteps falling back. Great timing and positioning on the spam. Little bit of a lineup. Inns has pushed his way through a ramp, so Hats well aware that there is a player over there. And can hear the footsteps of Inns falling away here.
I've been seeing a fair bit of that from Inns so far with this new look Grayhound. It's been put in these sort of enforcer, these sort of CT enforcer roles. It's making the pushes, trying to be the one active around the map. And certainly hasn't stopped either. Pushed his way back into Palace. ADDICT is going to get the kill onto Dexter, though that's Really not going to help Bad News Kangaroos out all that much. Grayhound are putting together a pretty solid CT half at this point in time.
Yeah, 4 alive. Economy building up yet again here. Another opportunity for Bad News Kangaroos. Their last T-side gun round didn't look too bad. Definitely had their opportunities. AWP comes out for PC this time. Some quick pace in middle last time for Bad News Kangaroos. Made their way very quickly up con again. Quick smokes onto con and window. Boost into underpass from Grayhound, or actually a 2-man setup in underpass. Alistair's looking for a pick on the underpass player. 1-4 from Bad News Kangaroos, though. It's util pressure from Brace and a quick pace straight out of a ramp here.
Quick pace indeed. Vex has been forced all the way back into con, but spamming through the smoke gets himself the kill onto ADDICT. Nade's going to reveal the position of Vexite as well, but realistically speaking, Grayhound are just fragging a little bit too well at the moment. Hazard was a nice sharp flick. If he would have gotten 2, it could have been something, but still numbers reigning supreme for Grayhound, and they've got the flank of ins as well, which will almost certainly win the round. 5-0. Grayhound with that hype train mentality right back into the best of 3.
Being very active. CT side Mirage, moving around a lot. It's very fluid, push and pull. They're taking space wherever they can manage it from the tees, and it feels like a lot of the time Bad News Kangaroos aren't really able to handle that. Like I said, the individual's looking really sharp for Grayhound here. Leoz hasn't even seen anyone yet. The life of a B anchor on Mirage.
Yep. 0 kills, 1 death, 5 rounds in. Could be worse.
This is his life. Go Leo's POV. He just jump spot. Just a jump spot bot, HE nade and stuff like that.
0 ADR.
Yeah. Hasn't even bloody seen anybody, mate. Bad News Kangaroos here. Looking for maybe a bit of pressure into con, into an A split perhaps. Dexter playing that forward position, but with no flash here on Alistair, he's going to have to be self-sufficient from sandwich. No one's really going to be able to set him up for anything. Is Vexite in unders here or ladder room? Either way, he's going to try to disrupt this mid push at some point in the round. Top con smoke comes out from the tees.
I think he's probably in a ladder room just based on his position on the mini-map.
Yeah, there you go. He's found the cross onto con, which is exactly what he was looking for and the exact role of the player in this position here. Trying to find that mid-round timing to give a man advantage for Grayhound, and Dexter will further extend that. HE nade opportunity to Alistair as well, but that's a nice pick from Hats. This one's turning around. Hold on.
Yeah, Hats the turret. Oh! 3 big entries for Bad News Kangaroos from him, and Hazard was able to chime in with 1 as well, and all of a sudden the round has shifted on its head. Finally, we might be seeing Bad News Kangaroos get a round. And also, Liaz is actually getting the opportunity to play the game now, so a lot of firsts in this round.
Difficult 1-on-2 clutch, though. He doesn't have a lot of space, and he's getting spammed out of it right from the get-go. Hazard with the Molotov in hand. Nice open plant for a 2-man CT setup. No smoke here for Liaz. Very low percentage clutch. And I don't even think he has the time with the molly going on the bomb. This one's done and dusted.
Yep. Sticking around. And that is going to cost him, as Hazard will take him out of the round and retrieve the AWP on the side as well. 5-1 the scoreline. Bad News Kangaroos can finally begin their campaign on Mirage.
Hazard and Hats just explode and combine for 5 there. And that is what we love about BNK. The Riflers have just got so much firepower on this team. It's really excellent to watch when they're feeling themselves, when they're multi-fragging. And Hats maybe adding to that in this case. Money's starting to look not so crash hot for Grayhound. They are very resettable here. This could be a big round for Bad News Kangaroos to be picking up here. Vexite on the deep line in mid can see absolutely everything. Alistair's pivoted over towards B apartments, jumping up on the dresser and doesn't quite connect that shot. Immediately punished by Hazard.
Yeah, good swing. Really good swing. Vexite can't do too much, allowing Hazard to get out onto the site now as well, and the bomb is well and truly in tow as Brace tries to make his way out of the apartments as well. In fact, he'll end up deciding to just toss it down. Overall, a very good setup.
That's a big, big swing of momentum here for Bad News Kangaroos. What a difference a couple of good rounds can make in a game. where the CTs have no loss bonus, no cash to fall back on.
Yeah, Peasy got the pick out on the A side as well, so it kind of went right everywhere for Bad News Kangaroos. Gonna have to keep rolling through this half, though. I mean, Grayhound have built themselves a pretty sizable buffer with that 5-0 start.
Yeah. Anything on top of that, CT side here will be a bit of a bonus for them, really. The work's kind of already done on the CT side, to be honest. This goes down with the bomb, but 4 players surviving here is going to start to build up a little bit of a cash to fight for this half with on the side of Bad News Kangaroos. Grayhound, 2.4 loss bonus, so single eco going to be coming out for them. Alistair's got a little bit of extra cash as well, so orb can be put together for him if he wants. And really just eyes here on Grayhound, who regularly, routinely win rounds with just a couple of guns that they have no business winning. Ins boosted up onto the B sight box. And second rifle, as we can see, in the hands of Liaz here. 1-3-1 for Bad News Kangaroos. Very safe, very stock standard anti-eco. Bit of util pressure into mid and B apartments.
Very patient stuff from Bad News Kangaroos here, working their way through mid quite slowly. Recognizing the importance of this round and not wanting to lose to one of those saved weapons. Good trade in the end onto Liaz. And the other M4's over on B, as we've just seen highlighted, so not likely that there's going to be too much more happening here. Brace does get kind of booked, though, by Alistair with the drive-by USP. And that was the bomb. So again, Bad News Kangaroos will just slow things down a little bit here and make sure that they can cross the T's, dot the I's, and finish things off. Largely coming down again to Hats and Hazr, who seem to have been the two to make the difference in a few of these rounds now for Bad News Kangaroos.
Only anti-eco, but a 4K for Hazr. Bit of a confidence builder for him. And another buy here coming out for Grayhound. Like I said, Alistair gets the AWP out, and the extra kill he got in the last round gets him the smoke. Pretty limited in terms of kits here for Grayhound, so that could actually come back to bite them in the mid to late round. Quick jump into underpass, spotted out by PC. So Addict's got to keep that in the back of his mind as the B defaulter. It's actually the swing, double swing on middle here for Grayhound. Hunt's able to trade out deck site. They're storming out A here, Bad News Kangaroos. This is very disjointed this round.
Dexter had no idea by the looks of things that Brace was out on A. He was still looking at main, but Inns and Alistair have been able to lock it down, and so now it sort of comes down to Addict finding a timing to get into the B site. Has crept into T apps as well. Wasn't spotted by Liaz on that timing, and if he shift walks the whole way, they might actually be able to make it out onto B. Inns is coming across to try to hold on to that. Important for him to at least survive. But Addict now more or less has control of the site, so they can at least play this post-plant 2-on-3 now.
Remember though, no kit for the CTs here. So they are on a bit of a timer, and with how far away they are, it's going to take a little bit of footwork to get back into the site.
Yeah, cheeky position as well for Addict. Not going to be cleared by Alistair. That will be the freebie. And Inns goes down as well. Great stuff from Addict. Just onto Liaz once again, who just seems to be continually put in these unwinnable scenarios. Another 1v2. And it won't go his way. So Bad News Kangaroos are coming back with a vengeance.
Just perfect crosshair placement for Addict. Puts himself next to the little fridge in the corner there. Spot that often will go unchecked. See Inns posted up, waiting for the market aggression. Wasn't ready for Addict's timing, and you can just cast your mind back. Remember just how deep he was in apps compared to his teammate. I think that kind of caught them off guard on the timing. That he made it across market, perhaps. Half buyout for Grayhound. They're able to pick one of these up on Nuke. So can't count them out here.
Well, Hazard's even been tagged by the scout now, so that's definitely a retrievable AK. Hazard will have to fall off the line. It's a small win for Grayhound, but Small wins can turn into big things.
Just pushes everywhere. B apartments aggression. Catches one. Dexter's deep in Palace. There's always a CT in the position that you don't want to be seeing.
Trying to clear out Palace and underneath balcony. Still got to be worried about Alistair sitting around on default. Nade's going to go into Sandwich, which was already clear, so no value out of that one for Bad News Kangaroos. They still haven't spotted Alistair. No one has looked at Alistair. Finally, Brace sees him, and he'll actually be able to double down onto Inns, who was in CT as well. 2 on 3 to negotiate for Brace and a very wounded hazr. Still got to be a little bit worried about these players coming from all directions, but somehow Bad News Kangaroos are just getting through this one by the skin of their teeth. It feels like they're playing zombies or something, Pilski, because they've got all these creepy crawlies coming from all over the place, and they're just turning on a dime and finishing them all off, and it does result in a round victory for Bad News Kangaroos, but that was, I gotta be honest, not super convincing.
Real messy. Real messy. Got it done, though. Didn't lose against the force buy, and with the cash, I mean, I don't think those kills are really going to matter too much at the end of the game here. Liaz, only one with the kit here as the B site anchor. Going to be a bit of a pace change. These worked out well on nuke here for Bad News Kangaroos. Quick A site timing coming out here. Shotgun AWPing from Alistair, needs to connect. What a nade from Inns into Palace, though. I think that was a collat into a nade, and then the shotgun AWP. That's just an instant shutdown from Alistair. Another one for his highlight reel, mate.
Yep, not much you can do about that one, just individual brilliance. Another round back for Grayhound, but it maybe comes a little bit later than they would have liked it to have. Because this could have been a huge half from Grayhound with that 5-0 lead. In the best case scenario, they'll have a 7-5.
Be a pretty close half no matter which way you split it. Let's see what Bad News Kangaroos have come up with. Gotta be quick smokes into the middle. It's like every time they can scale out into a site, they find success, but when they're getting disrupted in the chokes, it's been quite difficult for them to deal with. And same approach here for Grayhound. Close position on the AWP. Dexter pushing up. Does actually find Hats, who might have been trying to take a shot at Alistair there, unfortunately. And now you can see Bad News Kangaroos, they know they've lost space towards A. Hazr feels like he has to go back and take that, but with the bomb, if he loses his life over there, it's going to be very bad news for the Kangaroos.
Well, luckily, there's nobody there to actually dissuade him. But he has gone very deep into A main, hasn't he?
Yeah, they kind of have to end A now, is the consequence of that. You feel pressure here for ADDICT. Trying to keep the rotations honest. And you can see already Grayhound are quite happy to trend towards B because Dexter is deep in Palace.
It's a good position to be in for sure. Resmoke onto A main. Seems like the timing on that is going to be pretty good. But Bad News Kangaroos have dug Dexter out of his position. And on that timing as well, hazr just walks through the smoke at A main, which Alistair was not expecting at all. He was jump spotting Con. Good case of the timings here for Bad News Kangaroos. Double molly into jungle as well is going to mean there's no rotation from that direction. They can focus on CT, which turns out to be a pretty good plan from Bad News Kangaroos. That shooting gallery gets the better of both Liaz and Inns, and it's now just Vexite who would have to pull off a 1v4. And with 6 bullets remaining in the M4, I definitely have my reservations as to whether or not that is going to be possible. We'll get the reload off. Little flash up into the air above the A site. But still no swing. Nothing being given by Bad News Kangaroos. And as soon as the fight is taken, it's a 2-on-1. So, Grayhound actually let that go back to 6 apiece.
Ich sitz auf meiner Fensterbank, die Nacht zieht vorbei. Ich blick über den Tellerrand, trinke Sekt auf Eis. Ein Zweifel Wohnzimmer dealen. Baby, sag, wieso sind wir hier? Kann sein, dass wir den Boden verlieren. Wir heben ab morgens um 4. Ich sitz auf meiner Fensterbank, die Nacht zieht vorbei. Ich blick über den Tellerrand, trinke Sekt auf Eis. Ein Teufel und ein Engel tanzen auf dem Parkett. Vielleicht sind wir unsterblich, müssen nie wieder weg. Ich sitz auf meiner Fensterbank, die Nacht zieht vorbei. Ich blick über den Tellerrand, trinke Sekt auf Eis. Ein Teufel und ein Engel tanzen auf dem Parkett. Vielleicht sind wir unsterblich, müssen nie wieder weg.
So, hanging in the balance at the end of the first half, 6-6 is the scoreline, which might not be what you would have expected if you watched the first 5 rounds there. It was 5-0 for Grayhound. Bad News Kangaroos, though, did quite a good job to bring it back. Now a big pistol ahead for them if they want to try to close this out 2-0.
Yeah, moving on to the CT side, their map pick. I think they're going to be feeling pretty confident. Hazard's having a pretty impeccable map for himself. Would love to see PZ start to get warmed up, though. CT side AWP's going to be needed. And he's even had some pretty massive games on this map against Grayhound in the past. Smoke to top con. 4 players on the T side creeping straight through middle, boost up into window. Has actually found Dexter some space over here. Murder Hall vent is not broken either. This A split looking quite deadly. And PZ's dead to rights already.
In saying that, you do have 3 players on this bomb site, so still a chance to hold on for Bad News Kangaroos, but PZ instantly dispatched off, and now it's really on to ADDICT to land a couple more shots. He's just going to get absolutely wrecked by Vexite. One thing that seems to have been a bit of a struggle for Bad News Kangaroos today has been the pistols. Grayhound looking to lock in another one here.
High-low. Looking real deadly. Hazard doesn't want any of that. He wants to try to bait Dexter into peeking a little wider. And it's insane that he's even able to get away with that. Hat's able to swing in for another. That setup has not worked.
Oh, no!
No, you don't do that. Oh, he's got no kit, Jordan. Oh, my God.
It was just getting exciting. It was like, hey, they might actually win this 2v4. And then...
Honestly, I love it. You know, that's just the classic Asia OCS that we all know and love.
Yeah.
You know, it's not perfect, and that's why we love it. Perfect CS is boring. Chaos and mistakes are exciting. Spaghetti everywhere.
It's true.
Shooting your teammates in the back of the head. That's a bit of a difference maker, though, for Grayhound. Although, has to be said, as you mentioned at the end of the last half, a 5-1 for Grayhound to kick things off. So once again, they're starting the half strong. Going to be going into an anti-eco here. and it's up to the Kangaroos to respond. And they've looked, I have to say, quite resilient in both of the games so far. So I wouldn't put it past them. U2 all thrown by Dexter here. It's a one-man A execution with Ins just applying pressure from Palace, trying to pull rotations away from the B site, and Grayhound are just going to walk straight into B for free here.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, Bad News Kangaroos, probably not going to be seeing too much from them in this half just yet. Dexter clearing out the A bomb site, bit of janitorial duty from him. Working out pretty well, actually. And they're confident enough to say to the 3 players over toward B, look, we've killed 3 on A. Maybe there's 2 on B, but realistically speaking, you should be able to get that one done pretty comfortably. And so they will. Alistair planting the bomb. And that'll be an 8 for Grayhound.
It's PZ all alone. See if he can take just one more gun. Or even one to begin with, to be fair. Not going to have AWP in the opening gun round, unfortunately. 5 alive for Grayhound. Great result for them. Not really investing in any lackluster weapons to complete that anti-eco either, even though they knew there was likelihood that Bad News Kangaroos wouldn't force round 2. Especially not on Mirage CT side. So they were quite happy to not really farm up too much anti-eco and just look towards the first gun round, which shall unfold before us. I think the window smoke's missed. Yeah, window smoke's missed there for Grayhound. It must be us at this point, Jordan.
Yeah. A little bit of a caster curse. ADDICT spots Vexite. So already a bit of a start that favors Bad News Kangaroos into the first gun round of the second half. Yeah. Has the Grayhound lads milling around a little bit, wondering what to do now.
Ins is trying to be real sneaky over on sandwich side here. Trying to open something up. Roving in towards underpass. There's that A pick. There through. Now trying to apply in the middle of the map. It's a lot of tools. Doing a lot of damage from column. Might change that.
Hats is looking to make an impact here and really can't. Liaz has been able to escape through the tunnel. So it's on to PC, whose timing is not quite going to be good enough. Dexter was already out by Palms, and so he'll pick that kill up. And a round that looked pretty good for Bad News Kangaroos initially has kind of gone the other way. That might be the straw that breaks the camel's back here for Bad News Kangaroos, though. Let's see what Hats can do. 8 bullets available. 1v1's available as well, but wasn't too sure exactly where Liaz was, and so ends up showing the back of his head to Dexter.
Yeah, I mean, Liaz taking a lot of damage there earlier in the round. Hats was well aware that he scurried back into underpass, so the high percentage, the least risky play for Liaz is to go back through T-spawn around ramp side there and meet up with his teammate, which is why Hats is looking for that, and Dexter punishing him on the cross. Unfortunate. Man advantage from Bad News Kangaroos in that last round, earned from that classic play we've seen used to disrupt defaults, just a quick flash and the con player charging out mid and looking for the opening pick. I mean, it worked well, but they weren't able to consolidate the 4-on-5, and now they find themselves on a half bar yet again.
No connection this time from Hats. Grayhound really starting to stream ahead here in the second half of Mirage, so ADDICT has got something to say about that, and the Molotov doing a bit of damage there to Liaz is starting to make him feel a bit uncomfortable. So too the kills that are filtering through on that kill feed. Ins and Alistair to try to save the day here, and it's almost deserved for Bad News Kangaroos to pick a round like this up. I think they suffered a loss in one of them like this on Nuke. That said, Grayhound working hard to keep it alive.
So hardly working. They're just kind of sitting in the positions that they already had and waiting for the CTs to peek them.
Oh,
and unfortunately, in ADDICT's case, it doesn't really connect a whole lot, but he does tag them up a lot. No, there was multiple opportunities, Jordan. It had to be said.
Yep.
The 4v2, multiple players just walking into T-side crosshairs, trying to find timings to pick the Ts and then those last two POVs, we don't speak of them. Either way, it's good damage from Bad News Kangaroos, despite a missed opportunity. And they go into their first full gun round here. Orbs out on PZ. Util's looking good. Let's see what they can do. They've done a lot of damage to that T-side economy, so the window is open for a comeback, but they've got to be able to make sure that they can consolidate these 5-on-4s. Man advantage situations. Again, it's a mid-pinch in the early round. A 1-3-1 from the CT side. And ADDICT looking for that opening pick. But Alistair will not oblige. Oh, the nades, though. They double nade stack up on the tap. That's beautiful.
He's got himself one as well. Inns has also been spotted out. So looking pretty good for Bad News Kangaroos in this round. So it's going to be boosted up and well timed on the peak from ADDICT. Good spray down, gets both in the end.
Synergy between Brace and ADDICT is impeccable. Just the flash timings in the early to mid round. I mean, this is what this Vertex Bad News Kangaroos core does best. Brace gathering the info, not giving Inns of all players the duel in a 1-on-4. Because they've probably been 1-on-4'd by him multiple times in the past. The respect has been earned at this point.
Yeah, and just imagine that that previous round had gone the way of Bad News Kangaroos. It would be actually quite a close scoreline. You know, 9-7, and that gets turned to 9-8.
Still could be, though. They took a fair few guns away. They need to make sure they don't lose too many guns to Inns here. It's really important that he doesn't get one or two. And nice little swing from hazr is going to close it out. ADDICT, after a quieter map in the previous, starting to get himself warmed up, and hazr and ADDICT has to be said have been the standout from this core in the last little bit, and are once again putting in the work here. So all of that damage I was talking about, all of that economic damage in the last round, sorry, the round number 16 we're talking about on the half-fight. Let's look at the money here for Grayhound. No cash, util is quite sparse, Dexter down on the Tech 9. Here's your opportunity, Bad News Kangaroos, for an economic reset and to try to make this double digits.
Molotov will keep Grayhound out of the apartments early on.
Oh, Dexter's missed a smoke in middle as well. I think it was an attempt at a top con smoke that's gone awry, and he's still going to try and get up short anyway.
Well, Nate's going to do a bit of a chip damage there, and hazr holding on for a couple. He'll still be feeling the pressure as there's a couple more members filtering their way towards B, but dancing around pretty nicely and helped out by ADDICT. Looking like a good hold over toward B. ADDICT confident on the swing onto Inns as well. Will secure 10-8.
I mean, hazr doing 300 odd damage there on the hold. Great anchoring work from him, and ADDICT getting 2 and some change as well. That is going to break the T-side economy here, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. That was a pretty clean CT gun round, Jordan. Now we're going into an anti-eco. It's 10-9 with a good CT economy behind you. Very winnable. Very, very winnable. And it's interesting, you know, we're used to saying that Grayhound is the team that looks so convincing on gun rounds as they go for a palace pop and try to get this whole plant down. I dare say they've already got it.
Yep.
But I have to say, the gun rounds this series have looked much more convincing from the Kangaroos, actually. Nuke
Indeed.
included.
Well, let's just hope that they can get through this round without something going awry. Looks to be pretty well in hand. Hazard's been having a very good series. 21-11 on this map as well. Alongside ADDICT, this is almost the way you'd want to be seeing things going. But maybe you'd like to see a little bit more from PZ on the AWP, particularly on Mirage. But if hazr and ADDICT are having a good day, it does feel like that is going to be a recipe for success for BNK.
Yeah. I think PZ is definitely, I mean, the last little bit, I think the year before last, I might have said, wow, this is a bit of a shocking performance from PZ, but really has not been the same power level that he was in 22, I believe it was, as of late. He's going to jump his way down into middle. Try to play this disruptive line with the AWP behind the smoke. It's a bit of a slower round here for Grayhound. Going to apply some util pressure here towards A. Wall of smoke across the right side of the A site thrown by Dexter. This will try to create some space in middle so that the underpass players can come up and maybe try to go for a pick or boost into windows, something along those lines. And it looks like they may try to turn this into an A split here.
They will be contending with 3 players on the A site. Though they'll know the position of a couple
Ooh,
unless...
That's unlucky. That is
Yeah.
unlucky.
That's crazy. They're going to think sandwich is clear. See what ADDICT can do with that. In the meanwhile, Hats has already found Vexite, who was creeping in past the murder hole. ADDICT almost certainly gets a free kill here. And Will just executes Dexter, who's thinking, how? So, Grayhound are going to have to go back to plan B, and PZ will spot that out early. Gets a little bit of chip damage in there as well, but more importantly, the information keeps himself alive. Ins lurked
go back
out
A.
through the smoke. Indeed.
The question is, where is ADDICT though? They knew he was sandwich. Inns is looking for him. They haven't cleared ramp. They're well aware that ramp is dirty here, but will he find the timing regardless?
Well, they're not watching it at the moment.
Safe plant.
I think he knows that they know. So he doesn't really want to do anything just yet. PZ will work out through jungle. Gets the smoke into the palace position, which will help out. Inns is going to be locked behind that for the moment, and Bad News Kangaroos will start to speed things up. Alistair knocks the head off, and now it's just on to ADDICT. They almost lined up for him, but he's going to have to deal with Inns as well, and this puts him in a precarious spot, stuck between a rock and a hard place, and Bad News Kangaroos can't quite find that equalizing round just yet.
Yeah, missed opportunity, has to be said, but also still taking guns away from Grayhound. 1900 loss bonus, 3 guns taken away. And as I mentioned before, Bad News Kangaroos have done a fantastic job of building up this CT economy. So still anyone's game here. The reset potential is real. You just have to realize it. Smoking into window, paint's being set this time by Grayhound as ADDICT B hops across. He's spotted out. PZ does get a pick there. Starting to get on the board. Repeats for a second off the back of Hatz's flash. That is a big impact round from the Quiet Orpa.
Yep. Molly's certainly doing a lot of the disruption duty as well there at the top mid boxes. So Grayhound have to revert back to a 3-on-5.
Yeah, 10 seconds into the round, losing multiple players top mid is not where it's at. How do they reconcile this? Bad News Kangaroos giving them absolutely nothing. All pinned back to their half of the map. Brace sitting in Ninja. Retake positions on jungle, ticket, backside side of B. There will be no opportunities in mid for Grayhound to find a pick. But with that being said, that does present some opportunities as this short split starts to be considered here for Grayhound.
Hazard giving away his position. But you've still got Hats just patiently waiting. Grayhound are going to go into mid-window instead, and that hasn't worked out. I don't think challenging ADDICT at this point in time is going to be the way that you win this game. It just seems like ADDICT and Hazard barely putting a foot wrong. Certainly not when they have the rifles in hand, at least.
That's 5 alive, and that is going to break Grayhound's economy. Vexite saving the AK, but luckily he's got $1,500 anyway, so after a single save, it will be a buy up in round number 23 here for Grayhound, no matter which way you swing it. But Bad News Kangaroos, make no mistake about it, guys, they are favored to 2-0 here. The CT economy is looking impeccable.
Don't count your chickens before they hatch. It's been good, but will it be good enough? So many times you see teams in positions to beat Grayhound and then just faltering at the final hurdle. Bad News Kangaroos haven't won this map just yet.
Vexite with the AK in con is the player to keep an eye on. As this A pressure starts to come in, PZ, will he strike while the iron's hot again? It's ADDICT once again, swinging on full confidence, top side a triple. This man has no fear right now, and I don't blame him.
He's got another one. 24 and 14 now for ADDICT. He's overtaken hazr. And I mean, the other thing is, like, it feels like PZ's starting to have a bit of impact as well with that AWP. So
he had a round. I'll give him that. He had a round. But
tough one for Grayhound now.
Being honest about it, this does feel like a 2v5.
Will the 2v5 be enough? Is the big question. Nade's going to blow open the smoke for PZ to have a bit of a look into mid. Doesn't see too much there. Still molly into the top mid box as an insurance. And ADDICT this time will be caught off by a couple of members set up waiting for him.
It's a double-edged sword sometimes. Feels good when it's working the majority of the game, but in the make or break last couple of rounds of the half, you find yourself in a 4v5, and this is where the players who have been a bit quieter this game have to step up. PZ in particular going to have a couple of chances at finding a shot here. How's the flash looking for Grayhound though? Alistair does a peg one over the top, and that's a mistake. As Liaz loses his life, it's another swing. And a ding from Dexter.
PZ just can't get off the van in time. Hats will find a pretty good pick on short though onto Vex side, and braces quite quickly across at least into market, which will allow an easy rotating from hazr though. Sharp shot from Ins. And it's a 3v2 post plant with Bad News Kangaroos locked out of the B bomb site. They've got plenty of money. There's no reason not to go for it.
Yeah, Brace was thinking about a save. Always playing the percentages, but a 2-on-5 despite a retake from market is what they have to go for here.
Well, they're going to have to move quickly. hazr going to have to get that molly in. He's going to use it. Could go back to a bench van. Try to isolate something, but not tossed in the end. And Dexter gets himself the first. Alistair will trade it down. 12-11 now for Grayhound. Really still hanging in the balance. OT definitely on offer for Bad News Kangaroos.
Has to be. Otherwise, this one's just going to slip through their fingers. Two good starts for Grayhound, and Bad News Kangaroos definitely putting the foot in the door of a 2-0 there, but could unfortunately realize it. Double AWP this time from the Kangaroos. Hazard's going to post one of those up in B apartments. And the other in middle does actually strike. That's another pick from PZ in from Connector. And now the Kangaroos just got to play the 5v4. They've got this B apps line. This is a very good position for the CT side here, Jordan. They've got so much info on B. They can lean quite heavily towards middle and A, with a man advantage to boot.
Yeah, looking good indeed. Things will slow down a little bit for Grayhound as they explore their way into mid. PZ might have another chance here, though. Alistair is looking for him and will catch him. So we're back to 4-on-4. And Hats has allowed Alistair into the connector as well. Didn't quite get on that line on the timing. Still batches of Dexter, and now it's on to ADDICT, who is in all sorts of trouble. Fire forcing him to change up his position. He'll go for the swing on to Liaz, but Alistair finishes it off. Now it's hazr. Drive by with the AWP, maybe. 2-on-1. What can he do here? Can he deny the bomb plan somehow? Shot through the box. Won't land. Nade over the top, also unable to do any damage, and that is that. Alistair will get it done. It is 13-11, and Grayhound will win map 2. A good attempt from Bad News Kangaroos, but unfortunately, close enough is not good enough in this case.
Yeah, missed opportunity, and look, that 5-on-4 in the last round hurts them the most.